Hello and welcome to the informative guys. Today we are discussing the Calvo clause. Very often, citizen of one state agree with the other state any matter arising, particularly contracts between the Central and South Americans, Central and South American government and the foreign companies. As such, clause known as the Calvo clause named after the Argentine jurist Calvo. According to these clause, the foreign companies holding the concession or adjustment, I can say that his concession synonym in the Central and South American state renewed the protection and the assistance of their government. The purpose of this clause is to ensure that all the dispute arising out of the contract shall be referred to the state granting the adjustment. Now let's we come to the legality of this clause, legality of the Calvo clause. The legality of this clause has been questioned before several international tribunals. In several cases, it has been held null and void on the ground that no citizen can contract away the right of the government to protect him. In some cases, it is considered as valid. Thus, there have been conflicting decisions regarding the legality of this clause. Now, let's we go to the aspect of the legality of the Calvo clause. To the extent of such clause attempts to ignore in general the sovereign rights of the state to protect its citizen, its void. To the extent of such clause attempts to ignore in general the sovereign rights, state who is ignoring the sovereign right, it have to be void. We all know that the to against sovereignty every law should be void as subject to the government, subject to the law. If anyone comes to the sovereignty, that law have to be void subject to the law, because law is superior than sovereignty. I must say the law also law enforce and law ensure the sovereignty. So this is all about the first aspect. Let's we come to the second aspect, where such condition is there to bind applicant government not to intervene in respect of the clear violation of the international law. Let's we go to the through the third aspect. But there is no rule of international law which prevent the inclusion of the condition in the contract that in all matters pertaining to the contract of the jurisdiction of the local tribunals shall be complete and inclusive. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good day. I think so that this clause is that's third aspect was quite difficult to understand. So let me explain in simple words. But there is no rule of international law. It means that there is no rule of international law which prevent the inclusion of the condition in the contract that all the matters pertaining to the contract of jurisdiction the local tribunals shall be complete and exclusive. There is no rule in international law which prevents the exclusive condition of the contract. There is no law present in the international law. International There is no rule present in international law that prevent the inclusive inclusion of the condition of the contract that all matters pertaining to the contract the jurisdiction of the local tribunals shall be completed. The jurisdiction of local tribunals shall be completed and exclusive. This is all about the jurisdiction of the local tribunals. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good day. I think so that you will understand Calvo clause after this lecture. I hope so.